your horror movie podcast.
Welcome back, Hack Stab Slash. Tonight, we are finishing up this Fear Street movie marathon that we've been on. We're going to do Prom Queen as it just released on Netflix, like, what, two weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Real recent.
And so we're diving into this fresh-minded, no idea what's going on. I don't know about you, Justin, but I didn't watch anything going into this. And the only thing I knew was that this movie had a new director, so Leah Janik isn't returning for this movie. I know there's a prom queen killer, and I don't even know if this takes place in Shadyside, so I'm curious to see if this does take place in Shadyside and how it fits in this Fear Street universe.
Heck yeah, so excited. Same. I didn't even watch the trailer. They had me at Fear Street. I was so excited to watch this. I knew it wasn't connected to the other three. I knew it was a standalone movie, and I was still just so excited because it was the Fear Street universe. So it's pretty pumped.
Based off the first three and like how we dove into them, Justin, I kind of think I might start buying these Fear Street books and actually reading them. Like I thoroughly enjoyed the first three.
Same, 100%.
All right, Justin, real quick.
What do you got?
When's the worst time to ask someone out for prom?
I got nothing.
November.
Oh, all right. All right. Moving along.
That was absolutely horrible intro of the show.
God,
but a good intro to a movie is the intro we get in this movie. I absolutely love it. We get to listen to our main character, Lori, give us kind of like a quick intro while we see nothing but a bloody prom queen crown. This goes directly into a title card, and already I'm like, I like this. I'm here for this. This was nice. We go 2 days earlier, and Laurie is describing each one of our prom queen candidates, as well as like a quick description of Shadyside and some of our teachers and fellow staff members. We even get rewind glimpses of like Fear Street 78 of, wow, what was that? No, the guy that I thought looked just like I'm drawing a blank, Justin. This is horrible.
The guy has a rough start.
Maybe the guy with the cool mask. I forget what year he was.
Was he the milkman or not the milkman?
No, not the milkman. It was the one that was drowning him in the water and stuff. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, whatever it is. This is horrible. I'm leaving this all in so I look like a complete idiot. But Laurie's describing the 6 girls running for prom queen. We get Tiffany Falconer. She is the leader of the Wolf Pack. We get Christy Renault. She's a small-time weed dealer, but a big-time rebel. We get Linda Harper. She's got perfect grades for both her and Tiffany. We also meet Debbie. She's a gossip queen with a mouthpiece that can end your reputation in one lunch period. We also meet Melissa. This is Tiffany's lapdog. I believe Laurie says when Tiffany says jump, Melissa says how high. Yep. And we get last but not least, our unpopular outcast. We meet Laurie Granger. Well, we get all these intros from Laurie as she's walking through these halls of the high school right into some sort of like ethics class. And we see Mr. Falconer as Tiffany's dad. He's actually a teacher, and he's asking this class what they want to be. Megan immediately pipes up, and Megan is Laurie's best friend. She says, hey, Laurie wants to be a writer. And after some harsh words from Tiffany and the bitch pack, Megan whips out a butcher's knife and cuts off her fucking hand. Holy shit, was this awesome. I'm like, already? Shit is going wild?
I seriously was like, oh my God. I'm like, why did she just cut her? I'm like, is this related to like Sarah Fear? I was like, what just happened?
And then she just starts giggling and laughing about it. And she pops up, and it's a prop knife that she made. And I've got in my notes, Justin, that I truly hope Laurie decides to write horror movies and Megan does all the special effects for her, because this is a perfect team up.
She's hired.
I also love the way Mr. Falconer like sounded like he was trying not to cry, and he was like, Megan, to the principal's office.
Oh my God.
Fucking now.
Ridiculous.
That made me giggle. Prom dress shopping after school, and Megan invites Laurie to come over and watch only one of the best vampire films of all time, or at least in Justin's like top 3/4 of a movie. I don't know if that's we get Lost Boys mentioned in this movie, but she can't because she's got to pick up extra shifts to pay for prom. The Wolf Pack is also out after school, and these bitches are on the hunt. because they're at the diner, and it just so happens to be the same diner that Laurie works at. Of course, they treat her like an absolute second-class piece of dog poo-poo. But this is a great chance for us to see that there is definitely some kind of friction going on between Laurie and Tyler. Tyler is Tiffany's boy toy arm candy, and Tiffany, she's kind of like in on it. She can see these glances between these two, and she doesn't like it too much. And even when he comes back later on, this place is fully closed. He comes back to grab his Letterman jacket, and we see there is some definite sparks between these two. Like, I don't know if you felt that, Justin, but it is clear as day that
I felt that, and I also cringed at every single word they said to each other because I thought the dialogue was so
so bad
between these two. I was actually getting angry at the scene. But continue.
It felt like true 80s like dialogue, like very bad, very cringy, very scripted.
Oh yeah.
It's clear though that she does have to pay for prom all on her own, because when she goes home after work and she's face to face with her mom, you can tell her mom is just still very fucked up from whatever happened to her dad on prom night. Mm-hmm. And I feel this tension between these two, and the mom just wants nothing to do with anything. I think she like makes her half a cheese sandwich and it's like, yeah, I'm working a double. See you later.
Yeah, bye. Peace.
We get an inside look into the Falconer house as well. We see Tiffany. She's trying on prom dresses, and her mom just gives off this cringy, overbearing, I'm living my life through you kind of vibes. And I've seen this woman for all of 3 seconds, and for each time she tapped her fucking chin, I hated her more and more.
Same.
Did not like this woman already. Mm-hmm. Melissa shows up at the house, and you can tell this wolf pack just absolutely like worships the ground Tiffany walks on, because Melissa has to tell Tiffany how her dress is the best and how her dress is disgusting. And then Tiffany goes, well, I can give you one of my dresses. And she goes, oh, really? Okay, I guess. Like, yay.
Mm-hmm.
And she makes her take a hand-me-down that kind of looks like her current prom dress. And I hate all the vibes all of these people are giving off so much. Like, just get the fuck away from me.
Dude, can I just say, like, for the first whatever minutes you're in this movie, I, like, forgot this is even watching a horror movie, and I, like, didn't know what character I was even supposed to like at this point. I was just like, what am I even watching? But
I felt like I was watching some kind of weird rendition of, like, 16 Candles or, like, The Breakfast Club.
Dude, I'm just gonna say one more thing. Like, I try such an open mind to like these characters, but I feel like the acting, they were just reading from paper. Like, I didn't even understand, like, what was real. But let's keep moving on.
I go, the only thing I love about these quick clip shots is of everyone all over town during this is the fact that Billy Idol's White Wedding is playing.
Yep. Oh yeah.
It wraps up though as Christy is selling some Acapulco gold. Justin, do you know what Acapulco gold is?
Oh, that's the good stuff. Let's go.
Dude, I feel like when we were younger, it was all middies and everyone just gave it a name. They were like, yo, this is that crazy Kush from like Khalifa, Lion King, fucking Mustafa shit this out. And Jafar ate it.
Loved it. It was always, this is like the White Widow. Like, it's got the special. It was always like crazy names and shit. Yeah. Explaining how it's
dude, it all looks so the special. Same. It all does it. Yeah. But she's selling it to some Sunnyvale kids. And these kids are just dickheads, and they refuse to give her a ride back into town. So she walks, and it is such a shame that she has to walk because, of course, our badass rebel girl will not be entering this final girl conversation because Christy becomes contestant number 1 in the prom queen slayings. She meets her demise rather swiftly by our Red Riding Hood with an axe. I've got personal note, Justin. While watching this, I kept screaming, turn around. Seriously think this might be the worst kill in the franchise.
Dude, what the
guy was power walking from at least 100 feet away. You're in just a giant vacant lot with buildings around you. You can hear his footsteps echo.
And even if that, like, even if you say you don't hear him, like, you had so much time just to spin around and see everything because, like you said, it was a wide open lot. Yeah. Like, it wasn't like he just popped out from something.
Like, it could be if this happened fast, if she was like, hello, is anyone there? And then it was like thump, 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 slash. Yeah. It was like, hello, is anyone there? Thump, 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 thump. thump, 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 slash.
Yeah.
Like it just took way too long for him to get there. We see Christy the next day does not show up for prom queen rehearsal, so she is automatically disqualified. DJ Funkmaster Freddy is in the house and he's telling these ladies, he's like, yo, you got any requests for prom? I'm about to tear shit up. And he is quickly silenced by the 5th-year senior Judd, who literally hits him with a playlist and says, play this or you'll be shitting teeth for like,
hey, right?
I was like, all right.
Okay.
Cool. Immediately shot down. But after this whole assembly takes place, we meet this kid Spider, and he gives Laurie the boost of confidence that she needs because he's like, hey, me and a couple other people are voting for you because fuck the wolf pack. Truer words have never been spoken, my friend. Truer words have never been spoken. Tiffany is out for a jog now, and she bumps into Laurie, who has to actually work before prom. And let's just say Tiffany giving Laurie crap right now just makes me hate her even more. Like, I even hate the way she's jogging in her stupid ass fucking blue suede jogging suit. I hope she trips, Justin, and she scrapes her forehead on the pavement so she looks ugly in every single one of her prom photos because Photoshop does not exist in 88.
Nope, it does not.
There's no amount of makeup that's going to cover a giant gash on your forehead.
Oh, yeah, you're screwed.
But I, however, was a fan of the shots of Laurie at work, Megan looking for Christy. We even see our red brain jacket psychopath burning Christy's cow boots and crossing her like angrily out of the yearbook. This whole scene, dude, it leads up to Tiffany like in her bedroom. And this is probably the only point in the movie where I felt some sort of like, that sucks for Tiffany. Because her mom lays on this pressure fucking thick about winning prom queen. She's like, hey, whatever happens tonight, just know I'm proud of you. But like, win prom queen because we don't lose.
Yeah, right.
Fucking Granger. Could you imagine how disgusting? Like, as she's walking away, and I'm like, damn, man. I'm like, all right, maybe Tiffany's not that bad. Maybe she's like a superficial bitch because of the way her mom treats her.
Right. Yeah.
And I was not feeling it. But the synthy music used while all of this is going on, though, does remind me of movies like The Lost Boys when the Frog Brothers are like gearing up for battle and the sun's about to go down. I was like, this is very good atmospheric 88 vibes right now.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. Just please don't overdo it. That's all I'm going to say right now.
Yeah.
We do get a touching moment between Laurie and her mother right before prom kicks off. We even hear a great rundown of all things from our school news reporter, Harmony. Really? They just had to kick off prom, like all these prom scenes, Justin, with fucking Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up.
Never gonna give you up.
I was like, great. Now this song's going to be on fucking loop in my head for at least a month. Justin's going to mumble it for the rest of the episode.
Right, let's go.
Vice Principal Breckenridge gives a great lead-up speech to the kids to kick off the prom festivities by inviting all of our candidates up to the stage to actually introduce themselves. And something kind of seems off. Stuff kind of feels like it's starting to go wrong already. And then out of nowhere, we see Tiffany's lackeys just hijack the DJ booth, and the Wolfpack puts on a borderline pornographic dance routine. Breckenridge's words, not mine. Yep. And this sends Laurie just kind of like walking off stage in embarrassment and just pissed off. Like, how could they do that? Like, this wasn't part of the rehearsals. Like, I didn't know we could do that. It's a little fucked up. Then we see Bobby and Linda head off to grab the rest of Linda's flyers. And when they go get them, dude, Linda's pissed because someone has put unibrows and mustaches all over her flyers.
Let's go.
And she's like, I'm going to cut a bitch. Like, I'm going to find out who did this and I'm going to cut a bitch. And then we hear the door shut and the lights go off. Linda thinks it's the person who fucked with her flyers, and she wants to have a strong word with them, Justin. So she power walks off into the nighttime. Red flag. You've got a guy with you. Someone just trashed all of your shit, shut the door and turn the lights off. Like, let's pump your brakes before you power walk and like think you're a macho bitch. Because be careful what you wish for, because now your guts are all over the floor and you've left Bobby to try and fight off our prom queen baddie all by himself. To which he fails, Justin, miserably. And he gets hacked up with like a paper cutter. This right here, Justin, this right here might be the best kill in this entire movie, even though we don't see him die.
No, scene was nuts. That was crazy.
The fact that they cut off his hands, and then this killer let him run to a locked door and try to turn the doorknob with his stubbies, while he's bleeding out everywhere. I was like, this
everywhere.
Is amazing.
That was a brutal scene.
I love it so much.
It almost felt so out of place in this movie so far to this point, because I was just like, what the hell am I even watching? And then like an insane gore scene happened.
Dude, this insane gore scene. I was like, Eli Roth, whoever directed this movie, we'll get into that later. I was like, definitely called up Eli Roth and was like, yo, I need an idea. Right. He was like, all right, cut off both hands and let him try to open a door.
Yeah, no, that was nuts.
I was like, this is nuts.
Crazy scene.
Laurie does go up to Funkmaster Freddy and she goes, hey, can you play some Gloria? And immediately, dude gets shot down again. And he goes, go talk to that 5th-year senior. My hands are tied. I had to put that in there, Justin, because yes, it's the next scene, but I thought this was fucking hilarious because Bobby just got his hands cut off. Like all right. Seconds before he says, my hands are tied.
My hands are tied. Oh, yeah.
Laurie does have a moment again with Tyler, but it is very short-lived. As Tiffany, her head is found inside of a punch bowl. Everyone's freaking out. We got people puking. We got people passing out. Like, it is a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out, though, it's a prop.
Just kidding.
Even though they can't prove that it's Megan, everyone knows she did it. So they let her off with a warning. I thought this was fucking epic.
That was pretty awesome.
Like, we would have enjoyed it, but this pisses Laurie off to the point where, like, she needs to go get some space and just kind of clear her head because everything is going on so fast. And Megan's like, what, dude? That was epic. Like, I don't know what you're pissed off about. That was awesome. We see Judd, our bully of a 5th-year senior, goes up to Debbie, his girlfriend, and he says, hey, can we go into the basement? You got one?
Yep. Red flag.
You do not do that. But he's like, yeah, I got something special for you, girl. Like, let's go into the basement. As they start walking away, we see Laurie is getting a special delivery on prom night that is at the principal's office. Justin, this makes zero fucking sense. You're getting a personal delivery to a school at what feels like 10 p.m. at night because prom queen voting starts at 11. Who the fuck delivers something to a school that late? It's not, I mean, nowadays, yes, because there are 24-hour delivery service, but this is 1988.
You know, it's kind of odd.
I was like, you have a flower delivery service?
I had some questions.
Yeah, I mean, Tackstab / you're not going to know it's flowers until later on, but watching this on a rewatch, I was like, what the fuck? No, this don't make no sense.
Nope.
But we see Jimmy also shows up, and he's looking for Christy, and he's kind of getting worried, and he gives off those, like, worried boyfriend vibes, because he's like, I've been with this chick for a couple of months. She ain't never left my side, and I haven't seen her in 48 hours. Megan's like, did you report it? And he goes, shady side cops don't give a fuck. Ain't that the truth? If we learned anything in these movies, that's I think 100% the truth.
We all know that.
The first 3 movies all take place in Shady Side, and the only one doing anything about it is the Sunnyvale cops.
Mm-hmm.
We do see Judd and Debbie finally make it into the basement, safe and sound. He says, hey, this is where we could shoot a music video. And she goes, I'm not going to fuck you down in a dirty basement again. So clearly they've done this more than once.
Oh, yeah.
But this dude, Judd, is just an absolute meathead. Dude stole his mother's necklace, gave it to her, and said that he'd look better. We get a quick flashback, and we see Laurie is getting flowers at that late night delivery. And then it goes right back to Judd, and he gets a fucking skill saw to the cheekbone.
Nasty.
Wow. Right? Nasty as shit. Debbie. We know a Debbie, and this Debbie would be disappointed in this Debbie because she doesn't turn around and run or look for a way out. No, she just stands there and screams like an idiot. Like I said, she should have ran away. And what does she do, Justin? She just backs up.
Backs up.
She backs up to the left. She backs up to the right. She backs up to back up. She backs up like it's the Mambo #5 slide. Like it's just, dude. And then she backs herself into a corner with like a giant electrical panel. She looks at it, looks at the killer, and this dude just makes her flinch. And she jumps backwards into the electrical panel, killing her. And we see short circuits are everywhere. Lights are flickering. And this is all for Justin's cue to tell us why Laurie is heading back to the dance, but she's confronted by Tiffany, who's just bitching to be a bitch because bitches be bitching towards Laurie in any chance they can.
Let's go.
Pee?
Quick 20-second break. A lot of coffee.
Jesus Christ. Hack stab slash dad joke pee break of the day. How do you make puppies steer a canoe? You give them a doggy paddle.
All right, so we are back, and like Sean said, Laurie, well, she had to take a little break, and she is like in the hallway at the lockers, and she is confronted by Tiffany, and Tiffany is absolutely pissed. She sees what's been going on between the looks and her and Tyler, and she is basically telling Laurie, "You stay away from my boyfriend." And she just reminds her of the whole story. She's like, you know what? Remember, like when Rosemary, she fell for a Sunnyside boy, and Rosie got pregnant, and she slit that boy's throat. He bled out, and she's like, Laurie, like, you're Rosemary's baby. Your mom is a murderous freak. You are cursed, like, and you are such a loser. So she reminds her of all that lore, the story of what happened.
Dude, way to tie in like just an absolute classic of a movie with Rosemary's Baby.
Right, and basically, I know she literally says like you're like little Rosemary's Baby, tells her that whole entire story and everything, and just like you're a loser, you're cursed, like you suck. And we see at the prom, man, like the power is surging, and we see Melissa. She checks in on Laurie. She helps her fix her makeup. But then, of course, quickly right after all this happens, Tiffany interrupts Melissa and Laurie, and she throws punch and ruins Melissa's dress.
Dude, I'm so glad that Melissa like stepped up to Tiffany because it was about fucking time.
Yes. Oh my God. She's just getting pushed around, like just like not saying anything, going with it and everything. But finally, Justin, what do you got?
Did you or did you not love the fact that the janitor, when he's standing there, they're like, go check on the electrical, and he's like, yeah, sure. Why don't I stick the mop up my ass and clean the floors on my way out?
So awesome. So awesome. And right after this, we have a dance-off. They finally play Gloria, and it's the most awkward dance-off I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie, this is like one of the worst scenes you'll ever see ever. I've seen 1,000 dance-offs in movies. This one was so dumb. I'm just like, it was Tiffany versus Laurie. Hit it, DJ.
Dude, I honest to God think it was supposed to be like this because it is so set up for Laurie.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, she requests the song Gloria.
Right.
No, and the DJ's like, I can't because, you know, that Judd just will beat my ass.
Oh, yeah.
When this dance off happens, he plays Gloria. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, this scene just shows how the crowd is starting to pull for Laurie, the underdog, and turning against Tiffany.
Laurie is crushing it, but I just didn't understand Tiffany's moves, man. I'm not a dancer, but she's like just flopping around like I don't even know, man.
She looked like a fifth grader at a fifth grade dance, just trying to like show everyone how fast they can move the limbs on their body.
Insane. But as this has happened, it is pretty cool. They have like flash, like they're dancing, and they show Melissa back in the bathroom, and she's got her dress off and everything. After her dress is ruined, she's trying to clean her dress and everything. But unfortunately, someone is with her. We see that there is a killer watching. And then we see the music gets cut off back then, and we're flashing like kind of back and forth. And we go back to Melissa in the bathroom, and the killer ends up confronting her. And we got a badass chase scene, and she gets to the door, and she's gonna escape. We think she opens the friggin' door, but guess who's there? Another killer. This is the identical killer. Like she literally opens the door, and the killer's right there, but there's also the killer behind her. This does kind of look badass because you see her like she turns around. And dude, this other killer,
she's like, no way.
Yeah, she like literally turns around, so she's surrounded by the same exact killer. This killer gives her a cleaver right to the friggin' head, and we see her literally get dragged away. And as this happens, we get a badass. I love a good like montage scene and everything. We see that it's voting time. Like we see all the votes happening. We get clips of dancing. We see like Lori crushing it. People like, let's go, Lori. We see Tiffany confronts Tyler, and pretty badass. Tyler's like, you know what? We're done. Like, dude, this is not going good for Tiffany, man. It is falling apart. Tyler breaks up with
It is
her.
falling apart.
Dude, this is escalating real fast. But at the same time, all this is happening, all the friends and stuff, they start realizing, like, wait, like, where's Melissa? Like, we haven't seen Melissa. Like, wait, like the wolf pack is missing. Like, and then Megan actually looks and she like sees someone walk with a mask on in the friggin' hallway. And Megan runs to like Lori, and Lori is talking to Tyler right now. And she's basically like, hey, like everyone is missing. Like, have you seen like where is all these people? Like, look around. We don't even know where like the wolf pack is. Lori, man, she like blows her off. She's like, you know what? Like, what do you like stop this? Like, let me have my moment right now. Like, you're just jealous. Like, leave me alone. Like, none of this has happened. Like, stop making up stuff and playing your games and stuff. Basically, she blows her off so bad. Megan's just like, all right, you know what? Fuck off. Like, and she just like runs away. And you see Megan is piecing all this together right now. She's like, all right, I heard scream, the music skipped, like the lights were flickering, and she's like, oh my God, like the power room, like to the basement. And as this is happening, Tyler and Lori, they're like, you know what? Let's go somewhere to talk quiet. So we see them. They also go out back to somewhere they find a nice special room. And Tyler right away, he starts putting on the moves on her right away. And
he lays it on thick.
Real thick. I like very thick. And she's very hesitant. Like she's not really like loving it. And all out of like before you can even like figure out what's next, like boom. Dude, we get a knife to the head, like he's gone. So we see Lori, she runs and she's panicked. And we see Megan now. She's in the electrical room alone. She finds all the other bodies there. She like the bodies are falling out. There's the dead people in there. And we're like, holy shit. So she screams. We see Lori meets up with her. And she basically tells her, like, Tyler's dead. Like, and she's like, well, I just found all these bodies in here. So and as
I'm a little mad, Justin, that we didn't get to see the janitor get caught. We just see his dead body later. I would have liked to have seen it.
Yeah, and we see the killer locking the doors as is happening, but they hide and they run to another room, and the door gets shut. We see the killers after them, and they're being quiet. They're freaking out, and they also find like the book with all the prom queens and everything, and there's all like the red X's like crossed off on all the people that he's knocked off, that he's killed. But she's next, so you know what? They're coming after him. So we see now the killer chops through the friggin' door. Like he should have just said, "Here's Johnny."
100%.
Shining style cuts through this, but they actually both escape through a basement window. Not unscathed though, because the glass, there's shears everywhere. She gets a shear in her friggin' hand. Luckily, she stabs the killer with the shear glass. Doesn't kill him, but slows him down a little bit. They run outside and they got to run back inside to like warn everyone. But it's also result time. So as soon as they run back into the dance, Lori is announced prom queen right there. Let's go, Lori. But
time to celebrate.
But she gets up on stage, and this, like I said, man, as this happens, the killer runs in. And dude, he runs in, and this dude, Gerald, he chops off his head, like decapitates him. The girl Claire chops her leg off. Like she gets her leg chopped off, and he loses his friggin' head. Like, you want to talk about fast. Like, on stage, man, Lori is screaming, yelling, like, let's go, be careful of this. The principal is right there. He's like, calm down, everybody. Like, let's stay calm. And the killer's just walking right up, like, what is happening? Like, right up to the stage. And chops off his arm. He loses his friggin' arm. And he jumps down. He pins down friggin' Megan. Luckily, Lori grabs her, like, crown. And she stabs him right in the friggin' eye. This dude falls down, and we see, like, they take his mask off.
Dude, he's, like, whining. Hold on. Yeah. Just before you announce who the killer is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you figure out who the killer was in this movie early on?
I had my thoughts, but I didn't 100%.
I keyed in, and I have it written down. I was, like, calling it now, and it's the scene where Laurie gets gutted. Yeah. And then I called the killer. I didn't know there was two at that point, but I was like, this is 100% this certain killer, because the second they announce, what the hell's her name? Melissa. No, who's the biker chick? What was her name?
Oh, is it Megan you talk about? Or
no, Christy. The second they announce Christy as like the people's choice, she dies. The second they see Linda handing out flyers, she dies.
Yep.
I didn't really get anything on Debbie other than the like, why does everyone like Tiffany? I'm better than her.
Right.
Kind of vibes. And then she dies. Melissa talks back. She dies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was like in order of anyone that was defying a certain prom queen candidate.
Oh yeah. And then so here we go. She takes the mask off and boom, it is Tiffany's dad, Dan. Like, holy crap, like the freaking teacher, like, and like they're like, what? Like, why? And his answer, because like of course, like Tiffany's mom runs in there now too. And he's like, well, I know how much you wanted it. Like both of you, like you need like you needed to win. Like no one would have remembered how. They only remember the winner. Like I'm pretty sure they would have remembered how.
You just gutted like half the school.
I was gonna say, I was like, he literally says like no one will remember why. Like they just remember the answer. I'm pretty sure, like Sean just said, if you got half the damn school, I think they would have remembered why. But also, as like they're arresting him and everything, the cops get there and everything. I did think this was hilarious because they show the principal, like someone hands.
They're like, oh my god, he's still alive.
He's alive and he's missing his arm. And like they show the kids, like they hand him his arm. And
Dude, he looks at his arm and he goes, wowzers.
I literally wrote his quote was wowzers. Like, I'm like, what is even happening here? And of course, as all this is happening, the freaking reporter girl is loving this, man. She's reporting live. She is like filming all of this.
The news crew shows up and they're like, can we get an interview? And Harmony snatches the microphone and goes, I got this.
Dude, she's like, put me in, coach. Like, she is absolutely loving this. And we see Lori and Megan, they have a moment now, like they're waiting for, like Megan's got to go to the hospital. So we see Megan, she's taken off by the hospital. We see Dan getting arrested. We see Tiffany's mom, she has to go in for questioning. And so basically Tiffany now, she's all alone. The police are taking her home. So Lori goes with her. She's like, you know what? I'm going to go with you. We're going to talk this over and everything. They both apologize. They come clean. They have a nice, like, big moment together and everything. And Tiffany's going to be all alone. So you know what? Lori's like, I'm going to stay with you at your house. And we see Tiffany's mom. She's being interrogated by the cops. And Tiffany's like, I gotta go. Like, Tiffany's mom, sorry, is like, I have to go. Like, my daughter's all alone. She can't be all alone in this. And the cops are like, yeah, you know what? We agree. So, you know what? Tiffany's mom can leave. So we go to Tiffany's house. And we see the girls are in the bedroom. They just, like, the TV's on. Like, Tiffany's kind of falling asleep. And, like, what do you call it? Lori's just hanging out there and everything. And the mom comes home, like, let's go. And also, it's a little creepy because the first thing the mom does is she goes and grabs a large butcher knife. What? And she starts walking up the stairs, like hitting like every single stair with the friggin' knife. And like they jolt awake, like they're like, what the hell? They look outside and see her mom coming up the stairs. So both the girls, they run and they hide. And this is when it gets really crazy because they're in the closet. And like, they're like, oh, like don't talk and everything. But Tiffany won't shut up. Like Lori's like,
oh yeah, dude. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Quiet. Like she's like being quiet, but Tiffany just won't shut up. And she's like, quiet. And then Tiffany's like, could you just like imagine, like, could you imagine all like the looks on all the faces of all the kids like before they died and everything? Like, could you even imagine? And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, shut up right now. And like, she's like, and then she's like, you know what? She's like, the look. She's like, it was beautiful. And as she does it, she takes out, luckily, a very small freaking knife. And she stabs Lori. Like, bro, what the hell? Like, now Lori, man, she just got stabbed. Man, she freaking runs. Tiffany runs after her. The mom's after her. And the mom chases her. And she freaking stabs her in the back. And she freaking falls down. I'm like so disappointed right now. So Lori's freaking on the ground. And Nancy now, the mother, is explaining everything. She's like, how she killed Lori's father, but because he broke up with her for Lori's mom. Like, talk about a bombshell, like all that stuff
just
earlier.
Constant repetition with Tyler.
Yeah, right, exactly, like bombshell. And as they're ready to like kill Lori, Tiffany begs to kill her. And she's like, okay. So she like goes to kill her. But dude, Lori kicks her. Like, she's on her back. She freaking boots her. She goes flying off the staircase because remember they're up high right now, and she gets like impaled by like a hallway decoration. Like
it's right a falcon because their last name is Falconer. It's just this giant, stupid ass statue.
Oh my God, right through her. And oh my God, I loved it so much. She is friggin' dead. And so after that happened, like she gone, we get another chase scene. Like Lori's running for her life after her crazy Tiffany's mom's going after her. She runs and she smashes a trophy case. She grabs a trophy and just smashes the friggin' Nancy
Dude,
friggin' Tiffany's
she
mom's
hit her
head.
so hard in the head that she put
Oh
her
my
in lip
God.
mode.
Dude, she literally just leaves her to die. Like she smashes her in the head.
Yeah,
Like,
you're a
and yeah, she can't
bitch.
even
Like,
talk. She's like dying and like still trying to talk and like twitching and like just like I kind of loved it. It was pretty awesome. And she just leaves her there. And we see her just walking out of the house as we get the epic 80 synth hits, like the end. Let's go. Sean, you can talk about it first.
all right. So I've got, and this is the first thing we disagree on because you announced it earlier. I go, the acting really wasn't like terrible,
Hmm.
but it wasn't great. It just wasn't terrible, terrible. I called the killer slash killers really on, so it did feel kind of predictable. I did like the twist at the end though, with Tiffany being in on it as well. Um, we gushed over the soundtrack in the trilogy, and I feel like this movie could have used just like a smidge less synthy guitar in it. The kills were fun. Some of them were, like I said, even Eli Roth type gory, especially
Yeah.
with like the cutting off the hands, like the impaling of the statue. Uh, this is a good, not great, brainless watch, and like I want to love it, but I can't love it because I felt like there was just so much meat left on the bone. I think this would have hit different if it wasn't the Falconer family, and instead, like maybe it could have been like something different, like Tiffany's two biggest supporters in the prom, like the boy and girl that were running around telling everyone, the same
Hmm.
people who like hijacked the DJ booth, if they were behind all these killings, like they were killing off all her competition, like without her even knowing, like they just fucking snapped. And
Yep.
then I was like, or maybe even if like the boyfriend Tyler and vice principal's son Devlin, because he's got a small role, but that kid seems unfucking hinged.
Yep.
Uh, Kind of just like gets sick of his mom's shit, and Tyler snaps because he's just sick and tired of Tiffany, and they're actually just killing off everyone. Um, we could have even done something with the Wolf Pack because I feel like they could have been easy recruits. I don't know. Everyone else, janitor included, was just collateral damage in this movie. Uh, it's really hard sometimes when you get a book translated to a movie, and it feels like there's a lot in the book that might not have made this movie, and the movie is going to suffer because of that.
Yep.
All right, dude, I'm done rambling. I'm going to give
All
this a
right.
6.5.
All right. So here we go. Thoughts about this movie. The first half of this movie was absolute torture. It was the worst thing I've ever witnessed. It was horrendous. The
I struggled
dialogue,
like fucking hell taking notes. I was like,
I
I don't even know what
never,
to write down.
I literally wrote, I don't know how Sean's like, what's he even going to write during this? The dialogue was absolute trash. The character development was horrendous. I didn't even know what character I was supposed to like. There was nothing new in this movie, even minorly. It had some cool kills. I'll give it that it had some cool kills. But this was the most generic slasher movie I've ever seen in my whole entire life. I paused. I looked at my phone for a few times in the first half of this movie. I was so friggin' bored. I paused to look up who wrote this movie because I actually felt insulted. It was so stupid. And I'm not even joking. And I love, trust me, I love 80 slashes. We all look at them with like how great all the 80 slashes were. There was a lot of bad ones and generic ones,
Yeah, but those a
but
lot of them fall into the so bad it's good.
yeah, and this was just so bad. I thought this was horrendous. I will never rewatch this movie ever again. This movie was so friggin' bad. I give this a 4.7 out of 10, and this is the worst movie we have covered in a long time. I've never been so let down. Even the synth, I love 80s synth more than ever. I felt stuff was forced in this movie. I
Felt
didn't
like
care
they
about
used it
any of
way
the
too much.
characters. And this movie, I feel like I've seen 97 times. Like it was just so generic. And guess what? A lot of the 80s slashers, I admittedly like some bad 80s slashers, but I feel like they all had something new to the table to bring. At least they had like a different spin. They weren't all like, trust me, there was a lot of copy and paste, like camp killers, but I always thought there was something cool in each of them. This had some cool scenes. Like I'll remember maybe like probably one or two scenes from this movie, but everything else was just so generic. And I've seen this movies like this done so much better. Did not like this even a little bit. Never want to talk about this movie again.
Dude, the Prom Night remake was better than this.
Seriously, like, holy shit.
And that movie gets trashed.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, I've seen so many different movies of it, and like, I even like the young teenage movies. I like watching like the horror movies with the kids, and like this one just didn't do it for me at all. Like, I was so disappointed. Never mind, especially coming off on those other 3 Fear Street movies, to even have Fear Street attached to this. Like, shit, man. I know it's a Fear Street story, but damn.
Dude, all right.
All right.
IMDb is smack dab in the middle of us because IMDb gives this a 5.1.
Yeah. Oh yeah, even like your 6.5 rating, like that's wild to me.
I thought that was high, but there was, because I did watch this a few times.
I'm sorry.
Because the way I've been doing like movie notes to try and like make it more fluid and less like scripted, is I watch it once, or like I watch it and then I do my ending recap. And then I watch it just to watch it, and then I watch it again to take notes. Yeah. And there was like certain shit that I really did like. Like I love the opening when she's talking and all you see is the bloody crown, and like walking through the hallways and you see her, but you hear her voice in the background describing everything and giving us the rundown on Shady Side. Like I was here for that shit, but all the filler in between of just Tiffany being like a mean girl bully, dude, it felt like I should have been watching like a Lindsay Lohan movie.
Dude, seriously, like just watch Mean Girls, like just that at that point. Like what the hell? And like I said, oh god, sorry,
like you could have taken all those scenes. Like it felt like there was 20 minutes worth of those scenes, narrowed it down to 5 minutes of just brutal insult, and just gone off from there.
Oh yeah,
because I thought once the killing started, the movie was really gonna pick up. But it was like, here's a kill, 10 minutes of fluffer. Here's a kill, 15 minutes of fluffer. Here's a kill, and then it picked up when it got to like the last couple.
Yeah, and I can't even say like this movie wasn't meant for us because it's like a teenage. We love those kind of movies, especially like we just watched that movie where like the dad was like the killer. I can't even think of the name. The dad was like a serial killer.
Bloody axe wound.
Blade cut. Yeah, and that was girls in high school.
That was awesome.
Movie, and that was badass because you like the characters are so awesome. These are the most generic characters. Like I didn't like any of them. Sorry. All right, fun facts.
All right, dude. When Megan Rogers is smoking in the bathroom, the graffiti on the wall to the left reads "Sarah Fier lives." Sarah Fier is the original witch from 1666, whose death causes the curse on Shady Side.
Love it. I got a tagline of "Drop Dead Gorgeous."
Which is an amazing tagline. And the tagline right now is better than the movie.
It is, because that sounds pretty badass.
And then, dude, I had to bite my knuckles when I read this fact. Executive producer Leah Janik revealed that she wanted the 4th installment to take place in the 1950s and centered around Harry Rooker, aka the Milkman. Plans changed when it was decided that the film would be more directly based on the Fear Street book series. No problem with that, but I've got I need a Milkman movie. That dude was incredible in the trilogy.
Or just heard with directing too, and like I fully trust anything she's done after those.
Yeah, I feel like if this was her movie, top to bottom, it would have had the same feel as the trilogy. Yeah, and we would have maybe gravitated towards it more. But I feel like whoever took this over left a lot of meat on the bone.
Amen. We got the movie inside a movie that they were watching in the theater was Phantasm 2 that came out in 1988.
We've got author R.L. Stine has announced that there are 3 more Fear Street films in the works, and they're all based on his Fear Street book series. So, Justin, we have our work cut out for us.
Yep, and I'm not even minorly excited. We got this was at all. I'm actually kind of upset that. All right, this was filmed at a school in Hamilton, Ontario.
After Mrs. Falconer's death, her blood on the floor forms into Sarah Fier's witch's symbol. Yeah. Did you see that? It was like a post-credit scene.
Yeah,
loved it. I thought that was really cool.
That was cool. And my last one, so I can stop talking about this movie and never think about it again, was this paid homages to Shining. We got Lost Boys mentions. We got Scream. We got I Know What You Did Last Summer. We got I said Shining. Yeah, that's all I got. All
right, so I got a couple of goofs. Laurie's dad died before Prom in 1978. That is why their prom was canceled. The events of this movie take place in 1988. Laurie's mom would have been no more than 18 at the time her dad was killed. This means that Laurie was born when her mom was only 8. Doesn't add up.
Yeah, that math ain't mathing. Math ain't mathing.
And then, like you said, a movie in a movie. Phantasm 2 is advertised at the kiosk in the movie theaters. The scene shown on the movie screen, however, is from the first Phantasm.
Oh, no way.
Yep. Movie theater marquee shows Miracle Mile and Phantasm 2. Miracle Mile was released on May 19th, 1988 in time for prom, but Phantasm 2 was released July 8th, 1988, and this would have been after prom and graduation.
Oh, okay.
The sheriff talking to Nancy Falconer around the end has the name tag Good, which implies he's supposed to be Nick Good's father. But in Fear Street 1978, it is said that Nick Good's dad had passed away before the beginning of the movie. This movie takes place 10 years later, which would also make Nick Good about 25 to 26, which means he is old enough to be the sheriff now. He would have been the sheriff talking to Nancy and not his dad. So they fucked up on the ages.
All right.
And like we keep harping on like this movie, we keep saying like we wish that Leah Janik directed this because she crushed the trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
In that entire trilogy, we had like tiny goof ups, but we never had like major errors. Like the whole 10-year gap, which would have made Laurie's mom 8 years old.
Yeah.
I feel like the Phantasm, that was an easy goof up. Even like Nick Good. You could have made that Nick Good and not his dad. All you had to do was put a 25 to 26-year-old kid sitting down talking to her instead of a full-grown older adult.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least instead of having like Sheriff Good or whatever, make it like a relative that's talking to her.
Yep. 100%.
I don't know. Just some foolish slip-ups that I don't think Janik would have made because she absolutely crushed the trilogy. I'm not trying to shit on the person who directed this movie, but maybe pay a little more attention.
I don't even want to. I have nothing else to say about this movie. I never want to talk about it again. All
right.
Yeah.
Well, Jesus Christ, dude. All right. Fine. I can see you sweating through your tank top. So we'll just get the hell out of here.
Oh, let's go.
All right. I'm Hacky. This dude's sweating up a storm.
Right. Woo. Oh, yeah. Justin. That's me.
Yeah.
How the best day ever.
We'll see you in Shark Week. Bye.
Let's go, Sharks.